Hi everyone, this is Dave Bennett from Theme to HTML, and it is Tuesday, March 8th, 2016, and I want to walk you through this software installation tool real fast. I want to point out what it's really like to upload a bunch of new cPanels to my server, that being the idea. So for instance, let's say this. I'm going to go into my server here, okay, and I am going to look at my accounts. Now, I've got a lot of accounts on here now, 249 accounts. I'm about to add some more. So I've got some more domain names that I picked up that I'm going to add. So if you try to do this manually, it's kind of a pain in the neck because you have to go to account functions, then you have to say create a new account, and then you have to do it one by one. And so what do? You put in the domain name. So for example, I would take my domain name, stick it in here, and then I have to decide what I want for a username. Now that's probably longer than I normally would really want for a username, so I might like dumb it down, you know, Disco U4, you know, something, just something basic. Then I'd say password. Well, okay, whatever my password's going to be, that could be pretty much anything. Let me go and put it here and here. Then I would say what? Then I would say support at, you know, emoji-crew.com. Make sense so far? I choose a package that I would like to use for this thing, and that would be very often main. That's my typical package, and that's what I would use. And so now I have it. Domain, username, pass, the email, the package. I scroll down, and I hit create, and we wait. We wait. We wait. We wait. We wait. This isn't bad or anything. It's not terribly hard or anything. But this is the work it would normally take to create a cPanel. I'm showing you manually so you can actually do the math on how much faster it is to do it automatically. Now, okay, done, right? So let me go back to list accounts. Okay, now what was that called? Disk decompression. So let me see, DISC-DE, and that should be enough for me to find it. I found it. I need to go in here because the next thing I need to do is create an email address on the system. Okay, so we're just going to create support at disk-decompression.com would be the idea. So let me find where the email system is. There it is, email accounts. Okay, and I'm going to create, you know, support at or disk-decompression.com. Why does it show like this? If there were add-on domains, this would show a drop-down box, and then I could choose the prefix. This is called the prefix because it comes before the at symbol. That's what makes it a prefix in the email address. Okay, and so if there was a drop down, then I could choose from one of the add-ons and say something like support at, you know, whichever add-on. Okay, yes, we can do that in our system as well. Okay, now what should I put for the password here? And the answer is I should put whatever I used for the password for the cPanel, probably. Why? Well, I don't want people to crack into either one, so they're both important to me. But if I'm using it for myself, I'm probably going to use the same password. I could set a different password, but then I have to remember two passwords. I just want to remember one good password, and so there I have it. Okay, that's the idea. I could go with a quota or not, but that's good to go. Most of the time, 250 megs, great for the quota because it's only going to save the mail for like a week, you know. All right, and then I can create the account. Okay, so you're seeing what this is like to do manually. If I held my breath and just ran really fast, what do you think it would take me? Then I want to go to forwarders. I'm going to show you the automatic way to do it, and I'm going to add a forwarder, not a whole domain forwarder, just this one, support at. Okay. Again, disk-decompression.com has a drop down. Forward to where? Well, let's just say, you know, I'm going to forward it to myself. Okay, and that's it. And I'm going to say go ahead and add it. Okay. Okay, now I just did all that work. I have, and the only other thing is hopefully I put that information on my dummy file somewhere. There's my cPanel. Here might be my username or whatever I chose for the username. This is a dummy file, obviously, right? Don't take it seriously. But this file is perfectly useful. It actually works for bulk uploads using our tool. That's what I'm going to point out in a minute. cPanel password for the cPanel would be the same as probably the email password would be the idea. So actually, this is in the wrong spot. Control X, Control V. Oh, okay. And then we're going to have an email prefix. Remember, let's say I want support for all the different websites, and so that would be like that. And I'm going to say I'm also going to forward those. Where are they going to go to? Here. Make sense? That way they all get forwarded. Now, can you believe what's going to happen? We're saying on our server, mojisystem.com, that's the entire server, right? The thing that has all of the accounts on it, right? With 246 accounts now, that's the server. Okay, it's also called a WHM, or a web host manager. So WHM basically means big old dedicated server where you can put, like, 100, 200, 300, 400, 500 different domains on it and run all those accounts, all those cPanels for all of those accounts on here. And you can add these things for free. Okay, it's just the cost of each new domain every time you want a whole new website. Okay, that's pretty much it. Now you think, wow, 246 records, you have to have a lot of stuff on that website. Yeah, the answer is yeah. When we upgrade our website, it's exactly because, we need to figure out how much disk we're using. Let me see, with the backups and everything else, I'm using about 76% of this disk. Okay, and that's with a lot of files that are huge zip files that don't need to be there anymore. We build a tool to locate them and allow us to delete them. So I can literally delete about 40% of the storage with no great effort on this website. As a matter of fact, I can do it automatically without having to search through all of those accounts to find things to get rid of. Okay, that's because we built that into our tool over here. That's what manage bulk files is all about. It will allow you to search your server or a certain cPanel, okay, for zip files. And it'll go through the top level folders where you would have uploaded them in the first place, right? To like your subdomain folders, add-on domain folders, main root folders, and then locate all the zip files. And then it'll lay them out in a list and allow you to check mark off all or some and hit delete. The things you know you don't need anymore because you recognize the name, you uploaded it long ago, and no one needs it anymore. It's old, people have changed the file since then. It's not even a good backup anymore because it's original, it's too old. So then delete it. And all of a sudden, you'd be surprised how much room that can save you, right? Especially in the business where you do bulk uploads of lots of stuff. All right, so anyway, I explained all that to come back to the point. So what is the point again? The point is, when we look at this, there is the WHM. And that says, what is that domain? Well, that's mine. What's the root password? I guarantee you that's not it. All right. So it's going to mass create these one after the next for me. I just laid this stuff out. Here's my domains. Where did I get that from? Here. And you might think, where did I get this from? Okay, I'll tell you. Most of these, except for one's a different project, but I'm going to create it while I'm at it because the order came in at about the same time. Most of these are for chiropractor websites, quite clearly, right? And so how do we go ahead and do any kind of studies on that? Let me go ahead and make that point. Let me put that out of the way. Here's how. We started with a keyword planner on Google, and we looked up some basic keywords, chiropractor, chiropractic, okay? So once I logged into Google with my Google account, then went to google.com/sktool is what I do, search keyword tool, sktool, all one word, google.com/sktool. Then it gave me this. Basically, it gave me the keyword planner, and I could choose what I wanted to get from it. And so I chose something like keyword planner. Let me see. I said, show me, keywords that fit the kind of keywords I'm looking for, right? And it says, okay, what do you want? And I'd say, all right, search for new keywords using a phrase, website, or category. And I just typed it, chiropractor. That's the idea. On the next line, chiropractic. Not practors. I'm not trying to create a directory in this case. Okay. I could put a landing page if I want, but I'm going to skip that. I could put a product category if I want, but I'm going to skip that too. I think if you start to type chiro, it does find it, so that's cool. All right. And I might just say, give me some ideas. All right. Now it's going to give me a bunch of stuff. I'm going to go to keyword ideas. And guess what? I can sort by, how many searches or something like that. Not that that's directly important, but the point is I may as well start there. So I can start deciding things. I could say probably herniateddisk.com is taken, or herniated herniated-disc.com is taken. Don't go any further than that. Do not go herniated_disc.com unless it's an impulse sale that you're doing on your website. No one needs to remember your domain because they're going to go back to someone else's domain. They're not going to remember yours. Another one is .net, .org. Okay, don't do those either because most people assume .com. Okay, so usually when people think they're going to remember your website and they want to find their way back, make sure they don't accidentally find a competitor's website that was similarly named to yours. Use a .com with or without a dash between words, okay? And keep it simple. And don't play around with the words too much. Don't try to misspell the word. Don't try to add a letter, subtract a letter. I know there's a lot of weird training out there for that. And on rare occasions it works. Usually when there's no competition for a particular brand name, then it works, There's just very little competition or basic competition, average guys instead of big players, right? Okay, here we go. Now, so what can you do? You can compromise. You can come up with things. Herniated-disc-chiropractor.com, or fix-herniated-disc.com, things like that, right? Chiropractornearme.com. Hey, that might be cool. And so you just kind of look around for things that you can use. Spinal-decompression.com. Does it work or not? Herniateddisk.com or disksymptoms.com or herniatedsymptoms.com if it makes sense. See what I mean? Just you're using these to get words in your head and get ideas in front of yourself for things people are searching for, and that's why I sorted by the searches anyway, right? Just to get a clue, okay? So I can be in the right ballpark, like kinesiology. Do people search for that or no? Okay, well that many do per month, generally in probably all of the US. Okay, they search for applied kinesiology. But hey, that's important to me because it means I may have underestimated how often kinesiology is searched for. So it's good to consider things like that. All right, as I built these things, what did I do? I put together a list of things I thought might work. Okay, and I actually had a much longer list to begin with, probably 40. Well, I only needed 12 of those, and then I have a 13th website, like I said, that came in from a different order. So I needed 12. So I built 40 or so that I could do what? I could copy them and go to the next tool, GoDaddy. What do I do here? I do a domain search. I went ahead and logged into my account. Okay, and what am I going to do? Come back to the main page, like by clicking on the icon, go to all products, in my case, and that's what I like to do, and go to bulk domain search. Okay, it says enter up to 500 domains, so I'm just going to straight paste that in. All of them, okay? Up to 500 domains. If there's an extra space at the top, I'll kill it. And then I'll hit go, and it can tell me if any of them are free. It can give me the list of ones that are free. Well, they're not free. I bought them. So it should say invalid domain names 13 because they're all bought, right? If it said this one's free, that means I made a mistake. I thought I bought one and didn't, or I misspelled one, right? So anyway, if there would be some for sale that I could grab, it would be added to my shopping cart, okay? And I would just go get some more ideas, put them on paper, then paste them in and test those too, and they'll keep adding. Right? Or I keep track. Can you copy from things that are bad or good? Sure. And so I could just go ahead and, make some room and then just straight, start putting some notes in or whatever. It's like, if I found something that'll work, I can use that. Now keep in mind, it's crimping. So really what you would rather do is just check the list out that you see and check out that list and match them. And anything that's good, put it down. Anything that's bad, dump it out of your list or something, right? Or throw it down here as invalid. Separate your list until you get good ones. Then you can delete all the bad ones. All right, so the point is these are my good ones, right? Here's another thing I want to point out. A lot of people miss this, and this is useful. If you go to your, where would this be? Oh, visit my account. Got to be here. Oh, I know where it is. I think it's under like account settings, okay? If I went to the settings, I can do some cool stuff, right? I can go into domain defaults, and on domain defaults, I can view edit, I can add domain profiles. And if I edit that, what can I do with it? Okay. I can say always register my domains for. You know how when you try to register a bunch of domains, it thinks you want them for 5 years each, and you have to go no, 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 no in the drop down box, unless you're going to go that far. Okay. Always renew my domains automatically or manually. You know how every time you bulk buy domains, it's going to automatically renew them all and you have to flip them all off in your list? It's not hard, but the point is you can already have this done when it creates your domains. Look at this. I want it to already use these name servers when it creates my domains. Hey, that way I don't even have to go set the name servers. It's just going to happen when I go buy them. Okay, so there you have it. How's that for helpful? Okay, I can go back to GoDaddy, the front end. That would be normally what I would do. And then all products, bulk domain search, right? Paste in all my domains. Whenever I've got a good list, and that's not it, then I go and I've got a good list, so I can go to my cart and I can go ahead and buy them, right? And I already did that. And I already made sure they were set for maxedtraffic.com, which is, you know, the name servers I need for my server, right? Because that's what that is. It's my server right here. This is my web host manager is maxedtraffic.com. And so that's what the name servers are for. All right. So how would I do this automatically with our tool? I'll show you. I would go to our tool and I would set up the cPanel accounts and I would paste the data to upload. Now, the only thing that's going to be wrong, of course, is I'm not going to really show real data. So take a look. This is basically what I would paste to redo what I just did. On this WHM, row by row by row, it can be different WHMs. If you actually have more than one server, you have access to more than one server. I have access to other people's servers who set them up for their own websites. So I could do this for a lot of people. Okay, here's the password that goes with each one of those WHMs. Okay. Here's the domain I'm going to put in each case. Again, I keep doing this because that's the column. But really, think this way because this is how each of these entries are being created. That is the information one at a time. Okay? It's just easy to paste it all in like this, right? Whoever developed databasing was a genius. And so, hold on real quick. Okay, yeah, sorry, just had to take a break real quick and help my family get all the groceries in. All right, so anyway, I would want to create all these accounts. So I just signed it up and I created whatever I wanted. For the root password, it would be the root password for each of these servers. Then the domain names, whatever I want for the username. I just kind of faked it here. What I do, I created something, you know, Cairo123, for example, right? Then what did I do? I just clicked on it, grabbed the box, dragged it down. And that was my way of getting unique usernames for the cPanel. Now, one thing I personally like, I like to stick with 7 characters. That's just me. Because usually 7 characters feels right for a lot of programming reasons. Same with cPanel password. Well, cPanel password can be any length. It doesn't matter. So what did I do here? I made sure they all had the same password. Why? Just so you can see two different instances anyway. They could have different passwords. In this case, cPanel username, actually, if you're installing to the same WHM panel, each account needs to have a unique cPanel username, right? That means, right, on here, we cannot have 2 accounts that have the same username because if you want to try to get into it, it uses the username for a lot of things, permissions and stuff. So they can't have the same names. They have to be different every single time. But of course, the passwords could all be the same, right? So it's perfectly okay if the passwords are all the same, as long as you've got a really good password, right? Okay, package name, cPanel package name. Remember what I told you that I chose the main package because that's the one I like to create. That's the one I set up for accounts as they come in. Those are the default settings for the accounts coming in. You know, controls amount of stuff they can store, amount of add-on domains they can create, subdomains they can create, redirect domains they can create. It stores how much they can email, everything else, right? That's controlled there. And then the cPanel contact email is if you forgot your password and you hit forgot password and you're trying to recover it, Well, this is the information it needs. Okay. Finally, remember what I did after I created it? I logged into the cPanel. Logged into the cPanel so I could go create the support email prefix, right? And then what? Then I created the password, and I said it's good if the password's the same as the cPanel password, just to make it easier for you to log in and out of your email and your cPanel. They're both probably equally important to you to protect. You don't want people to get into your cPanel, or they can just go straight to your webmail anyway and bypass your email password, right? So you may as well just keep both, whatever your password is, just set it and then use it in both places the same. Okay, now I created the email prefix, and I get to forward email prefixes wherever I want, one or more. So I'm going to start with the one I did create. I'm going to go ahead and forward it to where I really expect to receive it right away. This is great. If you've got 1,000 downline affiliates and you're creating 1,000 websites for them, for all I know, and then the reality check is you could actually create 1,000 of these. If you actually had a list of affiliate email addresses and affiliate email addresses on your server and the real email address that corresponds, you could go sideways across the file. There really is no limit. You can create as many forwarding prefixes as you want. There's 1, here's 2, here's 3, here's 4, here's 5, and nothing stops you as long as you have the prefix on the server followed by where it really should go. And another prefix like service at, whatever it is, goes here to Ann Smith. Then we got tech at, whatever it is, goes to this guy. Okay, you can do that like with an affiliate downline all the way across Excel. All right, so you can do this for like 30,000 affiliates. Okay, you really could. I've not tested it. If anyone says that there's a limit at 10,000, let me know. That way we can deal with the limitation. If anyone actually needs something like that. Okay. No one's brought it up, but there's no proof that they won't later have a need for it. So just let us know if you do. All right. So what would I normally do? Again, I'm not really going to do this, but what would I normally do? I'd highlight the first thing, well, you could actually highlight the whole thing. This works. Just highlight the whole thing. Assuming all this is real information, if it isn't, just get rid of it. If you don't want this to happen, just clear contents. If you do want it to happen, leave it there. Yes, you can have a different number of these things in every case. Okay, each row is a whole separate entity. All right, so anyway, what am I going to do? Highlight the whole thing. That covers even all the stuff in the front. If I copy it, guess what that'll let me do? That'll let me go here and paste. And then I can process the data, except guess what? Okay, it would say if I went to start this, it's going to say anyway when I go to start this, hey, it installed too fast. That's what's going to say. And you know why? Okay, yeah, it's like all done. And you know what it really is saying? Click me. We couldn't connect, right? Error, couldn't do any of it. Why couldn't they do any of it? Why couldn't they do any of this part of it? Of course, because this is not the right password. All right, so if I just change that to the right password for the server, then the thing would work. Okay, that's the only difference. How long does it take when it really is putting up websites? Oh, like 15 seconds, 10 seconds each to do all of the work. To set this up with this, and then do the whole cPanel contact, then do email prefix and create it with the password, then set the forwarding and set it here. And then if there's more, do that one too. Literally, it just takes like 10 or 15 seconds each. Okay, so if you think about that, you just paste this in and walk away. Okay, all you had to provide was the breakdown in the first place, which is really easy because these entries repeat all the way down. This, you develop the list so you've already got it. This, you can just put something in and drag it down to create as much variation as you want. If you want to make two the same, how do you do it? You make the next one down the same as the top one, and then you highlight both of them together so that the system realizes that the format's supposed to keep applying. And then that way, they go together, except you can't do that with cPanel username. Okay, There you go. And then if you thought, whoops, better change that back to 13 too. Then if you thought, well, what about the password? How do I make that unique? Oh, that's pretty simple. Make sure there's a number at the end. Any number will do, or some numbers. Who knows? Like I got a 4, I got a 3, 2, 3, 4. I could just say like whatever 7, 4, right? That way, now what can I do? I can just drag it down. Look at that. They're all different. Who here would, on this website, would ever guess that the password on this website could possibly be something related, and if so, that? I mean, who could possibly figure that out? No one. Okay? No one would figure that out. But these would be for the same guy. So I would probably use the exact same password for that guy all the way down. Right? So the usernames will be different, but just so he can remember what to log in with, the password can be the same all the way down. Okay. Then the mains for the packages, and yeah, contacts, email support, email password, email prefix, and where it's going to. So what took me something like, what, 3 minutes, 4 minutes per row manually. Think about the man hours. Say it took 3 minutes manually to set the whole thing up, right? Especially if you have to wait for some lag. Well, then you've got, whatever, 13, 14 of these, depending on however many you're putting in. If I was doing 13 of these at 3 minutes each, it would be 40 minutes of work. And then I still have to get it all down on a file so I have a record of it, so I know what's going on, so I can have it somewhere. But if you just download this, fill it out, I mean, literally, once you have the domain names you want, filling this out, it's pretty simple. I mean, I just did like this anyway, right? I just copied my list and went here and pasted it in, right? Then I build everything else around it. So really, what did that take? 2 minutes? Maybe 3. And then I just copied it. That's it. I just did that. And I can start over. I can discard the list. Discard. I can clear the data. I don't have to generate a username because I've got them. I can paste it in, and I can hit go, and then I can hit install. And if it was real information, it would just do it. So now you're talking about maybe 5 minutes of work, and I can walk away. And this will do all of it flawlessly. No misprints, no accidentally getting a stray space in to a password somewhere, no weirdness anywhere, right? It just took care of itself, and I've already got my record just the way I want it. So I've got it safe and sound, and I can stick it where I want it and everything else, right? There you go. That's how easy it is now to create cPanels. And if it's really going to do it just automatically, like 15 seconds each, it's going to do about 4 a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4. So then another 4 the next minute, another 4 the next. Literally 3, 4 minutes, we're done with this. Okay, so we could have 14, 13, 15 accounts done in less than 4 minutes. Okay, where we normally take 3 to 4 minutes per account. Okay, that's how much time you're saving. So instead of it taking more like an hour, or 40 minutes, it's taking more like 4 minutes, and you barely did any work. Got it? That's the coolness of that. All right, there you go. That's how we create cPanels now in our WHMs, right? Once you have a WHM, ask me if you want the referral link to get a dedicated server. I'll give you that because we like to help people out. If you get your own dedicated server, there's a terrific amount of power that you can have with that dedicated server. You can do a whole lot with that dedicated server. So if you get one, get a hold of me. Use my referral link to get it, and we'll help get you started. We'll see what kind of benefits that we can throw you for the favor, depending on the flavor of the week. We have a lot of things happening. And so it's worth something to us, and we want to get you going. So yeah, you get a server, and we'll show you how to create a terrific amount of power with that server, how to expand fast, how to take things over. You'll love it. Okay, thank you very much for watching. More videos are coming out soon.